from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, the New York Yankees meet the Cleveland Indians. Pitching for Cleveland, right-hander Bob Milacki, and on the mound for the Yankees, Jim Abbott. An overcast, threatening sky in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium as the Yankees and the Indians hope to continue their series. Game 2 of the 3-game series on tap this afternoon. Last night, a homecoming for Washington Heights' Manny Ramirez, who connected, belting his first Major League home run. It came in the 6th inning with a man on and chased Melito Perez from the game, who gave up 6 runs, 5 earned on 9 hits in 5+ innings. And then just to cap it, Ramirez did it again, a solo shot on the 8th, this one coming off Paul Gibson to give the Indians an eventual 7-3 victory. That Cleveland win, coupled with the California victory over the Toronto Blue Jays 4-1, leaves the Yankees still 2 games back of Toronto in the American League's Eastern Division. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Yankee Stadium. I'm Dwayne Statz. Nice to have you with us for the middle game of this 3-game series. Well, the Yankees and the Indians divided 4 in Cleveland last week, and the Indians continue to be a nemesis for the Yankees. They have won 6 of the 11 games now played in the season series between these two clubs. And this afternoon, another big piece of the Yankee pennant hopes will go to the mound. Jim Abbott, the Yankee left-hander who has won 9 and lost 11 overall this year, coming off a tough August when he was 1-3 with an earned run average of 5.18. The Yankees desperately need Abbott to show them the consistency that they thought they'd get when they made the deal with California. Earlier today, Tony Kubek talked with Yankee manager Buck Showalter about his pitching setup.
All right, thanks, Dwayne. Buck, starting pitching or consistency in starting pitching is either going to make it or break it for the Yankees. It seems quite obvious. Today is Jim Abbott. He's been inconsistent. Why?
Well, Jimmy's his command's been a little bit off at times. He's given up his share of cheap hits. Anybody that pitches on the inner half as much as Jimmy does is going to have that situation at times. But we think Jimmy's going to pitch very well in September, and we need him to. It's as much wishful thinking as confidence in him, and we just have faith in Jimmy pitching like he's capable of pitching.
Have you made a firm decision that you can make public regarding Melito Perez?
Well, we'll announce that probably tomorrow, Tony. We've Sterling Hitchcock and Domingo John are going to probably join our club after today's game, and we're going to make a couple of moves that affect the club, and it may have some effect on who pitches Wednesday, but I want to talk to Melito first and look at the whole situation. 2
games down to the Toronto Blue Jays doesn't seem like a whole lot, but the schedule is running out, and you've got a rough road trip coming up for 9 games and some tough teams. Are you looking ahead at all?
Certainly you do a little bit, Tony. You have to. We know there's certainly a challenge here with Cleveland. Some people think we may have dodged a semi-bullet last night with Toronto losing, but we look at it as an opportunity we had to gain some ground, and there's not going to be many of those opportunities down the line because they're a very good club, and we've got to take care of our business and to continue to make some strides towards them.
Buck, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Dwayne?
All right, thank you, Tony. It will be Bob Milacki and Jim Abbott hooked up this afternoon, and we'll be back with all the action from the stadium following this.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. By your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. By AT&T, the best in the business. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz. For state-of-the-art home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more, nobody beats the Wiz.
Threatening skies here at Yankee Stadium, 77 degrees. And the forecast calling for occasional rain throughout the afternoon. Wind blowing out to right at the moment as Jim Abbott goes to the mound, making his 27th start for the Yankees. 3 complete games with his earned run mark of 4.31, 9 wins and 11 losses. He's coming off a no decision his last time out over in Cleveland when he failed to get out of the 4th inning. Gave up 7 runs on 10 hits in 3 2/3. The Yankees, as you know, came back to win that ball game. We'll take a look at the 7-11 starting lineup for the Cleveland Indians. Kenny Lofton leads off, followed by Felix Vermeer and Carlos Baerga. Bell, Milligan, and Ramirez down the middle with Maldonado, Tomey, and Ortiz rounding out Mike Hargrove's lineup. And the first pitch of the game scoots by Matt Noakes and all the way back to the bottom of the stands. Ball one. Lofton is the 5th leading hitter in the American League, batting .319.
He's a guy also that does well against left-handers. He's got that extra weapon, the bunt that he can drop down even when you're looking for it.
2 balls, no strikes the count. A lot of bunt hits, a lot of infield hits overall by Kenny Lofton.
He's also got enough power the opposite way to keep the defense honest, and Deion James playing him very shallow in left field.
And a strike call. 2-1. Here's the defensive setup.
Boggs and Mattingly tight. Pat Kelly still bothered by a hamstring strain pull, very slight in his left leg, so Gallegos at second.
3 balls, 1 strike the count.
Dwayne, you mentioned Jim Abbott's 27 starts. I think early in the year he got hurt by his defense, inner defense. And there's been a realignment of the defense as the season has progressed. He throws a lot of ground ball outs.
And he walks Lofton to start the ball game. He's the last guy you want to walk to put on there. He leads the league in steals. You talk about a guy who can divide your concentration. He can do just that.
You mentioned Jim Abbott's 27 starts this year. You could make a case very easily that 17 of those 27 starts have been very good starts, and some have been outstanding. He has had more than several, maybe a half a dozen short outings. If he's got a problem, I think his biggest problem is just what? Everything moves in the same direction. When you've been in the league 4 years, as he has 4 years plus now, they know what his baseball is going to do. Everything moving into a right-handed hitter. He has not been able to adjust when he was in California with Marcel Atzman nor Tony Cloutier to throw something that goes the other way.
Here's Felix Fermin.
There are some hitters are dummies, but not many. They see a ball moving the same way all the time. Say, look, we're starting to catch on.
Fermin takes this one a little down and in.
It'll be interesting to see which way Baerga bats.
Well,
left-handed, I guess.
We have seen him hit left-handed earlier. The first start of the year for Jim Abbott against the Indians, and Baerga hit left-handed. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate. 1-1. The other thing off and on that has plagued Jim Abbott, they talk about location being a primary asset of a pitcher. If he has good location, step-off move to first. He has had some inconsistency trying to locate, especially when we talk about the pitch to right-handed hitters, trying to break that over the outside part of the plate for a strike, just to vary that fastball and that cut fastball look.
Well, that's what Buck Showalter alluded to in the little mini interview he did with him. He said anybody that pitches inside as much as he does, and then he left it out there. But if you read between the lines with Buck, you can read a little more into it.
Lofton has drawn the walk. 1-1 the count. Broken bat down to third. Boggs to second, out there and over to first. They get the double play. And Terry Kraft, the second base umpire, made the call despite losing his footing out there on the infield grass.
It was raining or misting throughout the Yankees batting practice. You might lose a little range with Gallego playing second as opposed to Pat Kelly, but you'll lose absolutely nothing on the quickness of the pivot. And Mike does something that middle infielders should do more. When a guy comes in hard, why don't you just land on him with your knees? Maybe the next time you will. Watch him come down. Next time the guy might not slide quite as hard if he knows you got elbows and knees flying. He doesn't seem to get tired. I mean, he just keeps going on every day, Mike Gallego, and doing a terrific job.
Here's Carlos Baerga hitting left-handed against Abbott, and he takes a strike. Carlos at .319. Again, imposing numbers this year across the board for him. 20 home run year, better than 100 runs batted in.
And that .319 is over 100 points lower than it is against Yankee pitching this year. He's just knocked the heck out of him, including Bell, the next guy.
1 ball, 1 strike. So the Yankees erased the leadoff walk. Lofton erased on the double play ball as Abbott broke Fermin's bat. Baerga lifts one into left center field. That ball slicing back toward James, and Dion makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a walk, but a double play, and nobody left. We'll head into the bottom of the first from Yankee Stadium. No score. Yankee Chef's Hat Day featured in Yankee colors. Innovative use right there to protect themselves from occasional raindrops as we go into the bottom of the first, and the Yankees face Bob Malacky. First pitch to Wade Boggs is down, ball one. Malacky at Charlotte was 4-3, 21 appearances, 7 starts. Ball two, 2-0. You'll recall Malacky's days with Baltimore, and then Oakland, let go by Oakland this past spring, and that's when the Indians signed him to a minor league contract, and he spent some time on the disabled list this year because of shoulder problems. Falls behind Wade Boggs, 3-0.
Malacky won 14 ball games for the Orioles in 1989. This is the 17th starting pitcher that Mike Hargrove has used this season. That has been a problem for them.
And he throws a strike. It's 3-1. When he was effective with the Orioles, we saw a very good changeup from this guy.
Changeup, slow curve, he'll sink the ball a little bit. I would guess early on he's shown it to Wade Boggs, even though he's gotten behind. A few more fastballs to, everybody knows the report is a lot of changeups.
Boggs lifts this one into left, and Albert Bell is there to make the catch for the out. So Boggs is the first Yankee out in the first. He'll be followed by Dion James as we check the 7-11 lineup. Don Mattingly hitting third, Danny Tartable clean up, Paul O'Neill, and then Bernie Williams with Matt Noakes hitting seventh, Mike Gallego at second, and Randy Velarde, the Yankee shortstop, today in the ninth spot. Dion James, the former Cleveland Indian. And the first pitch comes in for a strike.
That could be an important pitch for Malacky today. The curveball, and with his short porch and right and left-hand hitters, that curveball that starts away and picks up the outside corner. So Ortiz is sitting again.
There's a shot back into center. Lofton is there, and he's going to make the catch. That ball kind of exploded off James' bat, but then got out there toward right center and hung up a little bit. There's a little bit of a breeze. It almost did a little flutter out there.
Yeah. That wind seems to be going from left to right, but it may be sweeping into the right field stands and killing balls in that area. And like Devon White or Brian McCray, if it's got enough hang time, Lofton will be under it easily.
2 gone in the Yankee first. Under darkening skies at the stadium. Don Mattingly takes a strike on the outer part of the plate. Down to 297 now. No score in the first, and Mattingly out in front there. Got just a little piece of that one.
Still in that streak. That's been with him for a week and a half or so. We're a little late on the fastball, too early on the changeup. Rick Down has tried to keep him from drifting ahead and lunging and trying to keep his hands back. Wade Boggs is there. He thinks it's the kinds of pitching they've been seeing. Hard throws from the White Sox, but a lot of changeup and forkball guys, and you're always in between, and it's hard to adjust.
And off the plate from Malacky, a ball and 2 strikes.
So be able to keep those hands back and wait, as Don did for that, month and a half, near 2-month streak where he's hitting everything in sight.
And a bouncer to the right side by Urga with the flip to Milligan at first, and the Yankees are out 1-2-3 in their first. So we've completed an inning this afternoon at Yankee Stadium. Indians nothing and the Yankees nothing. This copyrighted telecast is authorized under rights granted by the New York Yankees solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Yankees and Madison Square Garden Network is prohibited. On to the second inning from Yankee Stadium. Yankees start the day 2 games back of the Toronto Blue Jays. The Indians trying to play the role of spoiler. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays running into a couple of teams, Seattle and last night California, trying to do the same thing.
Well, it was Langston yesterday and help from Troy Lavello. Today they'll get Joe McGrain trying to revitalize his career with all the arm problems.
Albert Bell takes one down. Ball one.
Joe McGrain against Todd Stottlemyre, I believe. Scheduled pitchers. You know, when Jim Abbott, another thing about Abbott, when he is pitching well, we see the foul balls off the left shin of the right-handed batters or the foul balls into the third base dugout. That means he's keeping the ball down. When he keeps the ball down there, he's just fine. But it's those breaking balls or cutters when he gets them upstairs that are very hittable because he doesn't have the hard stuff to throw the ball by people. But he didn't have that in California either.
Yep.
He's not a power pitcher per se.
1 ball, 1 strike. Even in California, there's been some discussion about the variation of the velocity on Abbott. This one is a little down and checked by Albert Bell. The count is 2 balls and a strike. And you know, in his own mind, even in California, there were times when you hear pitchers talk about trusting their stuff. Sometimes you're going to have to throw the fastball. And Jim Abbott aware himself, even out there, that he is not the classic power pitcher. There's a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And there'd be times when he said he'd catch himself doubting himself about throwing the fastball. He says, I know I've got to throw it. Maybe I don't want to. And he'd step back for a moment and almost reconceptualize what he wanted to do before he'd go ahead and throw that fastball. Ball 3, 3-2.
You're right, Dwayne, because I've heard people say, well, gee, his velocity isn't consistent. Well, you don't want consistent velocity unless you're Nolan Ryan throwing 100 miles an hour. You want change of speeds. And basically, it's been not keeping the ball down in the strike zone enough. Yeah, keep it down. That's what his stuff dictates.
3-2, and he strikes out Bell.
Change of speed right there.
He had some good movement on that as the ball, a change of speed. The ball fooled Albert Bell.
Let's see which way this pitch moves if we can. I don't know if that's a slow curve or if that's the changeup that Tony Cloninger is working that he does not yet have confidence in. Great off speed, well over the top, good location. Good sign. You get a ground ball double play in the first, the chop ball to Boggs, and now you get Bell with that pitch.
Here's Milligan shooting one down the right side, and that's going to be out of play. Milligan, the veteran first baseman, outfielder, is DH some.
Good eye. He'll take bases on balls.
Good professional hitter.
Yeah, try a guy they're looking for to try and protect Albert Bell.
One ball, 1 strike.
You know, the thing you want to do against there's Manny Ramirez.
Right,
what do you say, 70 passes today, maybe? But at one time, a left-handed pitcher against this ball club, the Indians, because of their speed of Kirby and Lofton. But with Maldonado and Milligan, and now Manny Ramirez, it's a little different story. That's some right-handed power.
Yep. The count is 2-1. Milligan's gone 9 out of 19 since coming to the Indians from the Cincinnati Reds. Ball 3, 3-1. Milligan is almost everywhere he's been, Tony, at some point or another. He's been a kind of a victim of a numbers game. He's had a good bat, he's a pretty good player overall. And ball 4, down a little bit.
Remember before they got Brady Anderson, Frank Robinson was managing the Orioles. Milligan did some leadoff hitting, not because he's a prototypical leadoff hitter, but because he takes so many walks.
Yep. That's going to bring up Manny Ramirez, who had such a big night last night in his homecoming. 2 home runs. He had one off Perez, another one off Paul Gibson. Doubled up before all of that. And the pitch is down and in, ball 1. AT&T, the best in the business, salutes Manny Ramirez, the best in the game. 3 for 4 last night. First 2 major league home runs out of George Washington High School, Washington Heights. AT&T salutes Manny Ramirez.
Just about minutes away from the stadium.
And he takes this one down. 2 balls, no strikes, and out to the mound goes Matt Noakes to talk with Jim Abbott. I know he's going to be a good player, and not for the obvious reasons. Everybody, from the time the Indians signed him, they said they knew he could hit. Talked with him about his game, and the first thing he started talking about was how much Donnell Nixon in the minor leagues had helped him with his outfield play and his base running. So he's concentrating on the things to make himself a better rounded player. That's always a good sign.
He's better than an average runner. He is better than an average thrower. He played some center field, I believe shortstop at George Washington 3 years ago. I went up there and talked to his coach and watched him perform on that artificial surface field up there in Washington Heights. And he knocked your eyes out then also. I think he was 17 or 18 then.
2-1 the count. Abbott comes back with a strike to square the count.
Already people are asking Jose Morales, his hitting instructor, who's he remind you of? Who's your, and he'll say Clemente. But you know, the test of time is the thing that will determine what he will be.
That's too low, picked out by Noakes. So the count is 3 balls, 2 strikes on Ramirez.
That's what Mike Hargrove likes about him too. He says here's a kid with a combination of terrific aggressiveness, but he doesn't go over after too many bad pitches. And of course, Mike Hargrove was a guy that walked a lot, 100 times plus 4 times in the big leagues.
The 3-2 is fouled up the right side. That's going to be out of play. And Ramirez had great numbers at both AA and AAA. Spent most of the year at AA before moving up.
31 home runs before he came up, and he got 2 yesterday.
Yep.
And one thing Hargrove said also, and Jose Morales said, you haven't seen yet his power of the opposite field. I think he's got more power to right center than he does to left. Both his home runs went to left, as did his double yesterday.
The 3-2 and a fly ball back into center. Bernie Williams to his right will make the catch for the out. And Milligan retreats to first. So Ramirez retired his first time up in this game, the second out in the second inning.
Short, quick, and strong through the hitting area. This ball might have been a little bit on the end of the bat with a runner going. He's going to make contact. The high front leg kick, not uncommon among Hispanic ball players. Watch Danny Tartabull when he comes up. Ruben Sierra, on and on. Compact, but very strong to the hitting area.
There's Candy Maldonado. And he takes it too low. Maldonado, 231 overall. He'd had some pretty good numbers against Abbott from his previous time in the American League. A 438 average against the Yankee starter today. 2 balls, no strikes. Including a home run in the 7 of 16 against Jim Abbott.
And he's back with his hitting guru, Jose Morales. Isn't it something how one guy has so much confidence in the teaching ability, and there's just a rapport there. Morales, no language barrier at all. Not, you know, both Morales and Maldonado obviously speak excellent English, but there's a feeling. It's almost like the cultures think alike. San Francisco had good years. First time with Cleveland, good years with Morales here.
There's a foul ball out of play, and the count goes to 2-2. You know, Joe Carter was the same way by Bobby Bonds. And one of his reasons, Bonds helped him call the pitches.
Yeah. Did you see that? It was a great shot. One of Morales, he was telling whomever it is to his left. There he is. The head flew and the bat was back here. The shoulder left too early to drag the bat. You think you'd tell Candy that when he gets back to the bench?
Absolutely.
He didn't need videotape to see that, did he?
And it was not a good stay for Maldonado in Chicago with the Cubs.
Didn't play much.
The 2-2. And he's out on strikes. Abbott picking up 2 strikeouts in the inning. Quick movement down and in to get Maldonado. No runs, a walk, and a man left, and we're headed into the bottom of inning 2. No score. Danny Tartabull will open the Yankees' second inning. No score as the Yankees face Indian right-hander Bob Malacky. And the pitch runs low and away. Ball 1.
Never a good sign when both your third and fourth place hitters cool down a little bit. You know, they can pitch around one because the other one's in a slump, and they kind of interact.
2 balls, no strikes, and Boy, Mattingly and Tarnable together were hot for about 2 months, averaging just about a run batted in per game.
You face the White Sox pitching staff back to back. That will cool a few people down.
Yep.
As hard as they throw in the fork balls.
Ground ball short, picked up by Fermin, and the throw in time. So Tarnable out short to first.
You can bet that Jose Morales is not going to give too much coaching to Manny Ramirez. He is smart enough to know when he should back off, maybe just talk about pitches and so forth. As far as mechanics, I don't believe he's seen enough of him. And Jose is smart enough to know that. And he's talking about that cutter coming in right there, in on my fist.
Now Paul O'Neill. He's out in front. Strike one. We've seen the change of speed a couple of times here from Milwaukee.
Something that the American League has found out, even though Paul's been able to maintain a 300+ batting average, I think the change of speeds and cutting down his swing has cut down his home run and RBI production. Adjustment to the new league.
This one a little wide, and the count stands at 1 ball, 1 strike. Just a few umbrellas popping up here. We've had rain off and on, light rainfall. O'Neill takes a strike. 1 and 2. Yankees did take batting practice. The field was not covered prior to the game as the Yankees hit through periods of light rain. This one is fouled out of play. That pitch came running in on him.
Soft away early and then hard in, huh? If you can execute it, you can probably go into the Hall of Fame. But if you let that fastball drift out over the plate, this stayed on the inner edge, you get big trouble then.
This one off the plate a little bit close, and the count stands at 2 and 2.
Hey, this Cleveland team is lucky to have a veteran catcher like Ortiz. Alomar, you want to prevent injuries. He's so good and young. When you get Ortiz, who's been successful defensively, knows how to set up hitters, throws well.
Count is 3 and 2 on O'Neill.
There's Junior.
Junior Ortiz doing the catching this afternoon. Alomar back and healthy and playing extremely well.
Another change.
And the 3-2 had him out in front. Bounced it foul.
It was an interesting shot because I don't know which one of our cameras got that, but you could see Ortiz's fingers from the side. There it is right there. Now I don't know if he goes so you see those fingers wiggling. If you have time enough to relay it from a coaching box or from the bench, you can call a sign. Call a pitch.
And a chop to short, charged by Fermin. He comes up with it with a lot of time and makes the play. Fermin on the chopper charging that ball as he turned out to make the play easily. 2 gone here in the second inning. There's the camera shot.
It is our surveillance camera.
Yeah. Yeah, just left field, a little bit toward left center.
The one you have the CIA operative working.
Clete Boyer wonder if he could get an angle just about that good coaching third.
That's why that glove is down there, concealing it below the left knee from the third base coach.
Bernie Williams. The pitch is down, ball 1. Bernie's averaged .281 to start this game.
Terrific numbers right there for Bernie. Look at the RBI home run total. Half the season spent in the leadoff spot. So he's been about as steady Yankees there's been. You know, of course he missed 3 weeks or so, as Don Mattingly did with a rib cage. You project those numbers out. If he can continue to improve as he has from the left side with Rick down, what he might be next year in that 6th spot.
He's been very comfortable there and has been productive. Hitless last night, 0 for 5. 2-0 pitch down the left side. It is a foul ball.
Well, the wind started curling that ball back.
Just foul. Ed Hickox down the line to make the call. Bernie a long way to the opposite field, just to the left of the pole. 318 right down the line. And Bernie made a bid for his 12th home run of the year.
Ortiz setting up outside. And that's where it was. Outer third, a fastball, a little sinker. Albert Bell into the corner, and boy, that didn't miss by much. You can see the kids with the gloves extended. Maybe a foot, couple feet.
The 2-1.
Ooh. A great change.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And that was the bread and butter for Milwaukee when he was healthy and pitching well at Baltimore.
And you see that kind of changeup. Some of the guys who throw forkballs, not unusual for them to come up with the short shoulders. Principle of deceleration. Not much weight behind the throw like you do with a fastball or even a slider.
This one up and in, so the count is full. And speaking of that, we talked about Perez in the open. That's something that wouldn't surprise me at all if he's not having some shoulder problems himself.
Might. Although he doesn't admit to it.
Nope, he really doesn't say much about it.
Not any pain. He says he might still have stiffness at times. More difficulty warming up, but there is something perhaps wrong there. And that's why, you know, Buck's fortunate. I don't know what he's going to do. It almost sounds as though he's going to take him out of the rotation. But he's a kid that has never complained, has wanted the ball and wanted to take the baseball and pitch.
There's ball 4 inside, and you have to give him that in his defense. I know it's been very frustrating for Buck and for Perez himself and Yankee fans because he just has not been nearly as effective as he was last year when he was unbelievable. And that's why you have to think that at some point he had a little shoulder problem earlier and favored that shoulder, couldn't get on top of the forkball, and things flattened out on him a little bit.
He might have a mild case of DH burnout too. All those complete games last year, the inning build up.
Yep.
You get 34 or 5 starts in this league, it's like 37 starts in the National League.
Matt Noakes goes after the first one and hits a towering fly ball to right. Maldonado back in front of the wall, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Noakes jumping on the first pitch. For the Yankees in the second, no runs, a walk, and a man left through 2, no score. MSG Network and the New York Yankees invite fans to drop by the newly renovated Fila Sportswear store at 831 Madison Avenue between 69th and 70th Streets. With Tony Kubek, Dwayne Stats from Yankee Stadium. Al Troutwig will be along a bit later. Indians and the Yankees scoreless this afternoon after Cleveland won the first game of the series last night 7-3. So the Yankees just 1-3 on this homestand before they wrap it up tomorrow and then hit the road for a very important 9-game road trip, and it figures to be tough with stops in Texas, Kansas City, and finally Milwaukee. Here's Jim Thome. Thome, the third baseman, another good-looking young Cleveland hitter, and he takes the pitch outside. Thome hitting an even 300. He has a couple of home runs, 9 runs batted in after some very impressive numbers at the AAA level. Good enough to make him the International League's MVP.
You know, you look at the schedule dwindling down in this Yankee ball club 2 games back, and even players now start looking at pitching matchups. You say, well, how important is today and tomorrow? You say, I think they're very important to win both games because you expect Stottlemyre to beat McGrain, California Angels today, and then Henkin will be going for his 17th win tomorrow against Leftwich, a rookie. You say, wow. You know, and even if you win these 2, if it happens like you think it's going to, you say, well, California's going to lose those 2 to Toronto, and then it's only 25 games left. We're heading for 9 games on the road against Texas, especially. It's tough.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and after the Blue Jays finish with California Sunday, they'll go home.
Oh yeah.
And they'll take on Oakland and California up in Toronto. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count.
Well, Lou Piniella sure helped his old team.
Yep.
Beat him 3 in a row.
Ball 3, full count. Abbott with a couple strikeouts and 2 bases on balls through the front 2. Working here in the third, a full count to Thome. And a shot into center. Bernie back there, and he makes the catch for the out. 1 gone. So Thome is retired. You know, the Indians, not only are we seeing some good talent at the major league level, but all through their system, not only at the AAA level. So far, 5 of their 6 farm clubs, and I think all 6 of them are going to qualify for playoff action.
Of course, Mike Hargrove and John Hart some of the people have been brought up to the major league level that they want to look at. But you're right, and I asked, do you have some arms? He said, we have three or four arms, which is what they're looking for to put in the starting rotation.
That's a strike to Junior Ortiz. He tried to check as that pitch went biting down and in. A strike to count. One out, nothing doing in the third. Big chop. This is Gallego, and back to first. Throw on the money. Ortiz is out, number 2. Base is empty with 2 gone. When it comes to youth, the Indians have plenty of that. And that White Sox ball club just second to Cleveland. The Brewers and the Mariners and the Angels. The Indians, the youngest team.
The thing you like about that White Sox team above and beyond the other you just listed is the youth in their starting pitching staff. Alvarez, Bure, Fernandez.
There's Lofton with a chop. And the flip by Gallego takes care of the Cleveland leadoff man to retire the side. Nice play by Mike Gallego. 1, 2, 3 go the Indians, and we're headed into the bottom of the third with no score. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by Gillette Sensor and the new Gillette Series. Gillette, the best a man can get. No score. The Yankees and the Indians playing under overcast skies in the Bronx. Middle game of the series. Yankees trying to pull even in the season series with the Indians, and more importantly, keep the pressure on the Toronto Blue Jays. Gallego takes this pitch, and it's a little low and outside for a ball. Mike hitting over 300 now. 301 on the year. He was in there last night at second base leading off when 1 out of 4. A 2-ball no strike count on the nobody beats the Wiz scoreboard. They've had some rain in Boston, but they're underway. No score. The Royals and the Red Sox. White Sox off to a 5-0 lead at Detroit. 3-run home run by George Bell in the third off Gullickson. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, when the Yankees signed Gallego, and of course this spring he was on the trade block, the best thing that ever happened, and one of them is not letting him go. I wonder if they knew they were going to get such a vocal leader in the clubhouse and on the field. You know, Mattingly's a leader in his way, but he's quiet. But Gallego, you see so many of the players go to him, or he will go to them if they are struggling. And of course, he brings that from the World's Championship heritage with the Oakland Athletics. That doesn't hurt either.
Well, he has that championship experience. And it's a lot different now that he has more or less been an everyday player. That works out a lot easier for him.
Last year he admits he was lost with all the injuries.
He draws the walk from Bob Malacky. This one opens the Yankee third. Yeah, it was difficult for him to make peace with himself after last year with all the injuries and really find his role on this ball club. But now that he's been in there more or less every day, he knows what his spot is on this club and has responded very well. Here's Randy Velarde, who's playing shortstop today with Gallego at second. Pat Kelly out with that hamstring strain.
Guy whose bat they'd like to get on track. Looks like Randy has spread his feet apart a little bit more, get a little better balance, and sometimes spreading your feet apart will shorten your swing a little bit, shorten your stride, where you can get to the ball quicker. He's been hitting a lot of balls late behind him.
1 ball, no strikes.
For a guy like Randy, who learned so well last year, Frank helping him, Frank Howard hit the ball the other way, and all of a sudden he's hitting it too late.
Now the strike and the count is 1-1. Malacky here in his third inning. His last start was on the 19th of August down against Richmond, and then he had made 4 or 5 relief appearances since then. Originally the Indians were setting up to throw 3 left-handers at the Yankees, but they got involved in that 22-inning game, and that changed their pitching There's what a play by Ortiz on the bunt by Velarde. Ortiz turns in an outstanding play. Starting from the squatting position, made the catch on that short little popper off the bunt attempt by Velarde.
Usually the first move for a catcher is to go straight out in case it's fair, and he recovers and then bends back to the left and makes a great play, and then has the composure to pop up looking to double Gallego off first base. Watch him pop up and look toward first base. He's going to roll and come up and look down there to see if he went off too far first.
I hang a star on that one.
That's a beauty.
What a play by the Cleveland catcher. 1 out, 1 on. And the top of the batting order, Wade Boggs, lifts one foul out of play.
You know, when a team has been struggling like the Yankees, you know, this is the ideal kind of pitcher, Malachi with off speed, is that you would like to start runners. Not necessary to steal. That's an added plus. But because of the lack of speed, Buck doesn't have the maneuverability to even hit and run quite as much. But here'd be a guy you'd want to do it with. It's Malachi. Even one strike. Boggs doesn't miss pitches. Let him go.
And a liner into right, going to fall for a base hit in front of Maldonado. Gallego stops at second. The Yankees pick up their first hit. Have 2 men on with 1 out in the third, and Deion James bat due.
It's an outfield you want to be very careful with taking the extra bait. Wayne Kirby not playing it. He leads the league in assists. Lofton and Bell and center and left to right there. And they don't lose a whole lot with Candy Maldonado's arm. He's got a good throwing arm in right field also. The Yankees a tough team to go first and third. Tough for Cleveland to score guys off second base. Tougher against this Cleveland outfield.
Here's Deion James. So the Yankees get their second look at Bob Malachi. And he misses down, ball 1. The longest Malachi had gone out of the bullpen in the minor leagues at Charlotte. 3 innings his last time out after that 5-inning stint he had in the start on the 19th of August. 2 balls, no strikes, the count.
You wonder if Malachi's a guy in his first year with Baltimore wasn't hurt by overuse at a very young age. He had 38 starts his first year. That was the only time in 71 years in the American League a rookie had led the league in starts.
The 2-0 pitch. Bounce foul up the right side. So the count 2 balls and a strike. Deion 1 out of his last 11. The average at .332 right now.
Another way the lack of speed hurts this Yankee ball club. They're a big inning ball club. They're a power inning ball club, as you know, but they're leading the American League in grounded into double plays.
No score. The Yankees with 2 base runners. Gallego second, Boggs at first. Ball 3. 3-1 the count.
Malachi, a guy that can't just rear back and say, here my fastball is hit it. He has got to be fairly fine. Well, it was a late night, boys. We know that.
Three and 1. Ground ball. It's going to sneak through into center, base hit. Here comes Gallego in to score. The play's at third. Safe there. The ball skips by Thome. Now Boggs is going to try to score, and he is safe. The ball gets by Ortiz. Goes into the dugout. And James, who's at third, will be awarded the plate. And the Yankees will get 3 out of all that as the Indians throw the ball around the infield. 3-0 Yankees.
It's interesting because Malachi had a chance to help himself out. I don't know if the ball went right through his legs. Then Lofton threw to the wrong base. Had no chance for Boggs. That got by. And then Thome bounced it to Ortiz. I'm assuming that Lofton's going to get an error. Thome's going to get an error.
Well, it'll be a base hit and a run batted in for Dion James, and then the errors come into the picture as the Yankees get 3 runs, and Mike Hargrove's on his way to the mound try to settle Malachi. So James drives in the go-ahead run.
We showed how young just a moment ago this Indians team on the field is, and young teams will make mistakes. Watch Lofton. He elects to go to third. No cutoff man because Fermin was trying to get the ground ball up the middle. So there's nobody to cut it off. So Lofton has it get by for the first error on him. Tomey throws it by on a bounce. Ortiz, error 2.
Wow, how about all that? So the Yankees get 3 runs.
Yes.
On a base hit and 2 errors, and Don Mattingly takes a strike.
That blazing speed just intimidated this young Cleveland defense.
That's it. That must have been it. It started out as a base hit for James, and he circled the bases. Mattingly lifts one foul down the left side. 2 strikes the count. Gallegos scored on the legitimate run batted in. Boggs wound up scoring. James followed him home.
Wade Boggs has got all kinds of little things wrong. The lower back bothers him on occasion. We've seen where the thumb does. That's the time of the year when he's getting some aches in those legs.
Mattingly shoots this one foul.
Can't forget this inning being led off by Mike Gallegos' walk. How often does that set an inning up?
Oh, to the count to Don. Still just 1 out in the inning. And that came on the great play by Ortiz on the bunt attempt by Velarde. A ball, 2 strikes.
Two Michiganders, huh? Howe and Kamenicki.
Mattingly out on strikes.
That at bat, it looked almost like Don was going to set, I'm going to just swing as hard as I can anything near the plate. Did you notice that? He's been frustrated by a slump, and almost every cut he had, he hooked that one way foul. Just go back to the natural instincts, and Malachi gets him with a change.
2 outs. First strikeout for Malachi.
And so often that's the best way. Just get all the garbage out of your head, see the ball, and try and mash it.
Danny Tarnable takes the ball. Tarnable grounded to short his first time. So the Yankees have 3 runs, 2 hits. The Indians with 2 errors. There's a popper on the right side. They lead the league in errors committed by Urga. Had to drift on that one, but he makes the catch to retire the side. The Yankees come up with 3 runs, couple hits, 2 errors. Nobody left. We're through 3. Al Troutwig will be along with the score. 3-0 Yankees.
In a wild sequence, the Yankees grab the lead 3-0. Hi, everybody. Al Troutwig with Tony Kubek. And Tony, whenever I see a sequence like that, I think of Casey Stengel. Not the Casey who won world championships here, but the Casey over in Flushing. I mean, for people who grew up in New York at a time when I did, that was the epitome of what he watched.
Casey used to call it a little white rat. He'd have those meetings after you kicked the ball around. He says, you guys just don't know, in his own inimitable way. You guys don't know what to do with that little white rat. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Well,
they picked it up, but they couldn't throw it right.
It was scooting all over the field. Starting things off for the Cleveland Indians is Felix Fermin. Hit into a double play his first time up, and here's another ground ball backhanded by Gallego. He's had a busy game and a slick fielding game at second. Gallego's done it all over the infield this summer.
He made one of the great plays of the season again at second base on a bullet that almost got Melido yesterday off Albert Bell, and somehow he caught a line drive and just a terrible hop and threw him out. What's he doing?
He's feeling something in that left leg.
Something wasn't right there. You're right. Left knee.
Well, for now, he'll play through it. And the RBI machine of the Indians, one of the 2, Carlos Baerga, steps in. 38 runs driven in his last 40 games. The other machine of that caliber, of course, Albert Bell. He's 0 for 1, flying out to left. in there for a strike, 1-1.
Tony Cloninger, the Yankee pitching coach, has seen this situation all too frequently in his mind over the last couple of weeks, where the Yankees get a lead sometime in the ball game, and immediately the opposition comes back to at least get runs and sometimes tie it or go ahead.
And right back.
Yeah, it's like the very next inning. And
2 balls and a strike.
I'm sure Abbott's aware of it. You know, there's an important first pitch, the important first hitter, important first out in the game, and the important, you know, boy, the importance also right in there somewhere of when your team gets the lead, let them maintain it and tack on the next inning.
Ground ball to Gallego. Seems fine on those legs. And 2 4-3s for the first 2 outs for the Indians here in the 4th. You know, Tony, for as good a pitcher as Jim Abbott is, and we'll see if Gallego shows any favoritism to that leg.
It seemed to be the left knee. Is it right there when he plants? That might have been right there when he planted.
That's the previous ground ball.
The ball off Felix Fermin, leading off the 4th.
Now Albert Bell. Abbott has 1 strikeout, 2 strikeouts in the game. The first one was against Albert Bell, and he kept him totally off balance by keeping the ball low and the breaking stuff inside.
Well, that's a real good thing right now for Jim. 4 of the last 5 outs have been on the ground, and he's been changing speeds well. And he starts them off with a low speed pitch.
But the one pitch he can't get, Tony, is strike 1. You know, he said after Sunday, I knew that I was pitching behind in the count, and that changed everything. And as much as, you know, he wanted to not do that today, he has been pitching behind in the count for most of the first 3 2/3 here.
More importantly, Jim talks about quality first pitch strikes.
Fastball, strike 1, 1-1.
Perhaps Jim now is to the point where he's heard so much about your velocity is not as good, and he was trying to make it better by overthrowing. He's now changing speed. That gets him on the fists.
Albert Bell gets underneath this one, and when he gets underneath it, he really gets underneath it.
So his underneath is a little different than anybody else's underneath?
Yes, it is. It's a lot higher.
Ray Guy-like hang time.
I think his are higher than Ray Guy's punts. The 1-2 pitch to Bell. Little high, little outside, 2-2.
Do you see Albert Bell's stride? He was looking to get pounded inside again, and his stride with his left foot was almost to the third base coaching base, opening up, looking in.
Swung hard, but it's in the glove of Wade Boggs, and the Indians go down 1-2-3. 5 consecutive outs on the ground for Jim Abbott. Yankees up 3-0, trying to add to it when we come back in the Bronx. Here's a reminder from your friends at Budweiser. Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. First pitch to Paul O'Neill from Bob Malachy. Baerga, 1 away.
I just can't believe how much Paul O'Neill has become a first ball hitter. That's just incredible. I mean, he's after almost every single first pitch, no matter who was out there, and he gets some hits off it, but now they're starting to pull the string on him a lot.
I didn't really notice that until about 3 weeks ago.
You wonder how he got nearly 80 walks one season in the National League.
So as Paul O'Neill deals with that ground out, Bernie Williams steps to the plate. Bernie shows bunt. Pulls it back, ball 1. Bernie just missed a home run in his first at bat. And you'd have to consider that a pretty good at bat, because he wound up getting a walk out of it. It just missed being a home run down the left field line. What did you decide? It was 2 feet?
Yeah, maybe 22 or 23 inches.
He cracks that one over second base. 1 out single for Bernie Williams, living the good life in the 6th spot.
I'll tell you, I think the Yankees got themselves a 300 hitter for next year hitting out of this slot. And the guy's going to drive in 80 to 100 runs. And he's got a terrific body. He's not going to get hurt much. Who cares if he doesn't steal a base? But this is a spot right here with Noakes up. I mean, if you can pick a changeup, maybe Bernie ought to get a little brazen. Take off. Get in scoring position. 3 runs ahead. Get Bob Milacki starting to think about something else aside from the hitter. The Yankees don't have the ability to do that.
Speaking of first pitch hitters, Matt Noakes took the first pitch from Milacki and hit what looked like it was going to be a home run, and it wound up just short of the fence and right in the glove of Candy Maldonado. This swinging strike one, 0-1.
It's Carlos Baerga at second base off that last pitch. He does a lot of moving around as the ball is in flight. And, that last changeup, he took 2 steps to his left, expecting Matt to pull it. He stands still. Generally, it's a fastball.
Runner going. He does get brazen. The throw from Ortiz is in time, but
Safe.
The ball gets away, and Bernie is in.
Fermin, I think, got the ball kicked out of his glove. Perhaps got kicked on the wrist by Bernie on the slide.
That throw was there, though, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
So the stolen base for Bernie Williams.
Not a bad pitch to throw, and it was a hard slider or a cut fastball. And right there, he's got him. He's out, and the second base umpire, Terry Kraft, waits long enough to see the ball trickle out of the glove. I think Fermin's still hurt. Fermin's still hurt. Watch this. He's got him straddling the bag right off the knee, and the knee pops the ball out of his glove, and Fermin is still trying to regroup.
Looks like he's holding his quad. His hand looks like it's shaken up a little bit, and the Indians trainer is going to make his way out onto the field. Of course, the Indians have Alvaro Espinoza on the bench.
Interesting. Mark Lewis, who started the season for them last season, still trying to battle his way back. He's a young shortstop that struggled with the bat and with the glove, a little bit too hyper. But they've got him in reserve in the minor leagues, but he's there in the playoffs.
It's tough to see, you know, how a hand inside a glove would get hurt, but Fermin looks like he's going to stay in the game.
The risk it.
Maybe
Jammed, I don't know.
hyperextended a bit. Fermin is going to stay in the game. The trainer's back to the dugout.
It's one of those, if that second base umpire makes the out call definitively, you could actually give Fermin an error because that was an out.
1-1 to Matt Noakes with Bernie Williams now in scoring position. Yankees up 3-0 on the wild sequence. An RBI single by Deion James with 2 on, and then 2 throwing errors, or 2 errors, and then the 3 runs all came in, including Deion, who started it with the hit. Matt Noakes swinging at that low delivery by Milacki, 2-2.
Milacki has really great delivery on this changeup. It almost has a palm ball look. I don't know if he chokes it back. It does not look like it's the circle change. Well, it just dies right in the hitting area.
How many pitchers, Tony, have saved their careers by mastering off-speed pitches that they were never able to master when they first broke in?
Well, I think there have been quite a few. You look at Jimmy Abbott today, he looks like he's changing up a little bit more than we've seen him in past ball games, and very effectively on this Indians hitters. Another one.
And Matt Noakes at the full count pitch.
Well, that's when you know a guy's got not just a good changeup, but a great changeup, but he can back it up. Back to back, and sometimes 3 in a row, and he just did that to Matt Noakes. Matt had seen it to the pitch prior to this. He was well out in front. It's there again, and he still can't time it. Probably especially effective against a guy who's almost a dead pull hitter. You want to get the barrel out and cheat a little bit to hit the ball in the right field seats.
Now Milacki will face Mike Gallego. Bernie measuring his lead. Milacki stepped off, now back on.
Bernie also checking with Clete Boyer, asking him, which infielder are you going to take? I'll take one, you watch the other.
On the outside corner. Cannot believe, Tony, the low crowd totals for this week at Yankee Stadium. You know, when this weekend is over, only 9 more home games, and You know, the attendance for most of this week has been in the 20s.
The first game against the White Sox, what, 35, 37, then it went down precipitously to the mid-20s. I don't know if the weather's had anything to do with that, or the Labor Day weekend, or kids preparing for school, or whatever it is. Tennis.
I don't think.
But you're right. This is not good.
I don't think that the U.S. Open has much to do with it. I'm really shocked that you look over in the standings. All you do, pick up the paper. You see Frank Thomas doing what he's doing. You see the White Sox atop the West. That's got to scream out as something you want to see.
I figured at least this many people would come out today just to see Manny Ramirez come down from Washington Heights.
Gallego, Tomei, Williams runs in front of him, but Tomei makes the throw in time to get Mike Gallego. So the Yankees strand Bernie Williams. Will head to the 5th inning in the Bronx. Bob Milwaukee and the Indians still down 3-0. New York Yankee baseball brought to you in part by the latest breakthrough in Shell gasoline technology. New Formula Shell. Yankees leading the Cleveland Indians by a score of 3-0 as this game slides into the 5th inning, avoiding rain that would dampen the enthusiasm of the folks who can't wait to see Manny Ramirez hit second in this inning. It will be started by Randy Milligan against Jim Abbott.
Are they filming a movie here today? I'm looking in the right field seats, and I've never seen this. There's a camera running back and forth in the first row, and on one side of a side, they've got Yal, on the other side, Stan. They're trying to create artificially a wave. Now, you got a part in some upcoming epic that...
So they're trying to artificially create something.
Yes. How pensive you are. With your Rodin pose. You're right. Jimmy Abbott's changing speed well.
Hope it's not the same people who brought us the exploding trucks, Tony.
They're tired. They were running back and forth in the first row. They got to take a breather before they can do it again. Jimmy Abbott behind another hitter, as you said, Al.
Yeah, 3 balls and no strikes to the leadoff man, Milligan. And he lost him. So Jim Abbott starts off the 5th inning by walking the leadoff man.
He retired 7 in a row. 5 of those on ground ball outs, 1 on a strikeout before the streak was broken.
And now Manny Ramirez on the back page of at least one of the tabloids this morning.
How about the front page of the New York Times? That's where the story on Manny started today. That's really big time.
And what's interesting is that not much of a reaction from the crowd. Except those who are here via his tickets.
Now we hear some. What a day to do it on, too. A special tribute to the Hispanic ball players.
Here's the view from Yankee Stadium, Washington Heights, off there where those buildings rise up. George Washington High School, part of that community. George Washington Bridge just off above the Heights. Big swing, 0-2. The former high school of Jacob Javits and Henry Kissinger. Of course, that neighborhood now is almost totally Dominican.
Bob Herzl's father, terrific baseball writer.
They've got some dedicated teachers, and they've got an artificial surface field that Manny worked on his high school baseball skills over there.
Frank Slocum, he went to that school with Henry Kissinger, used to be the commissioner's aide. Now works long and hard for BAT.
The 0-2 pitch, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's the baseball veterans.
Baseball assistance team. Yeah, Frank's probably sitting up in Connecticut. Frank Slocum, he was an aide to Fort Frick when he was commissioner. Took care of a lot of the detail work. In fact, he might have been the commissioner. He did more work than the commissioner at that time.
Line shot right to the belly of Velarde. Gallego, Mattingly in time.
How hard was that ball hit? Did you see Milligan? Milligan got about 4 or 5 strides off the bag, and he just got out of the way. That's how hard Ramirez hit that ball. How in the world did Velarde come up with it? Oh, we saw him hit some pitches up yesterday. Look at Milligan. He's out of the picture 5 strides from Matty.
Frozen. Wasn't even running.
Watch Randy. He's absolutely not even in the area. Oh.
That's what you call abandoned ship.
I'll tell you who the ball jumps off this kid's bat like. Joe Pepitone as a kid here in the stadium. Absolutely jumps.
Now Abbott to face Maldonado. Candy's really one of the leaders in giving Manny Ramirez a hard time. How about Ramirez saying before, Tony, I guess his minor league salary was about $2,000 a month, and now coming up to be on the major league roster, he's going to get about $20,000. I said, so you're going to do something for people in your family? He said, no.
Going to buy a big bodega in Washington Heights.
Now watch Milligan after this ball is hit.
He thought the ball was going to be caught on a fly, but it was hit like a tracer bullet. He had no choice but just hang around the first base bag.
One ball and 2 strikes to that man, Candy Maldonado. He struck out his first time up, and Jim Abbott's in a pitcher's situation to do it again.
Twice after walks, Jim Abbott's been able to get out of it with double play groundout. That's when he's pitching best.
Fans called it strike 3, but it is 2-2.
One and 2. He throws the slider in underneath the fists.
Rip just foul.
Sometimes that's the only way you can hit Jim Abbott hard. That ball keeps following the right-handers. To hit it hard, you've got to be so far in front, you've got to pull it foul. Otherwise, you saw yourself off and break your back.
After Jimmy Key's rough outing 2 outings ago, he looked at what he did wrong. Abbott decided to focus on outings where he pitched well before pitching today. Interesting to compare the strategies, and the film crew, whatever they're doing out there, they're still busy with their cue cards.
They're waiting for you to cue them to get in action again.
They're going to be waiting a while.
You say action, camera.
Fouled off again. That's your typical Jim Abbott foul off.
You know, one of the reasons I think Jim Abbott's changeup is so important and so effective is because right-handed hitters, because of the cutter inside, he's so dominant inside at times, they've got to start their bat early to get at that pitch. When you start your bat early, you're very vulnerable to a changeup, an off-speed pitch. He's changed speeds well today.
High in the air, but right at Deion James. And Abbott pitches out of it. Walked the leadoff man, but no one comes around. Randy Milligan watching his teammate Manny Ramirez hitting a ball so hard it looked for a moment like a line drive. No, should I run out? I'll just get out of the way. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Back in the Bronx, bottom of the 5th, and Randy Velarde starts it off for the Yankees. It's a strike. Al Troutwig with Tony Kubek here. Dwayne Statz will be back when the 6th begins. Randy's 0 for 1 on a starred play on your scorecard by Junior Ortiz, the Indians catcher. Man at first, Randy bunted it. It was a soft little bunt up in the air, and Ortiz left his feet and made the grab just outside the batter's box. Tony, if you do what you did in predicting the matchups for this weekend and how they favor the Toronto Blue Jays, Yankees have to look on the mound and say, we've got to be hammering this guy. Similar to the way they must have felt when they faced Derek Lilliquist of the same team a week ago. Randy Velarde skies this one. Lofton on the run. That's a home run. Randy Velarde. And boy, do the Yankees love to see that. Number 6 for Randy Velarde, and it is 4-0.
How many days has Rick Downs had Randy over the last week out early, trying to get him back on the beam, not be late? He got the pitch count in his favor. That's one of the important things. 2 balls and a strike, and Malachi had to come to him right down the middle of the plate with a sinker ball or a fastball. Randy stays back. Randy's getting ready to go home to Texas. He started his bat smoking again when he gets down there. It appears that Nolan Ryan will not be pitching. They've changed Noli again. The scheduled pitch went Tuesday or Wednesday, and they have scratched him now. He tried to loosen up, but the ribcage injury shut him down once again.
A lot of fans are going to be disappointed that they won't get a chance to see Nolan Ryan one last time.
You know, they've got Kevin Brown supposedly pitching on 3 days rest. He's got a lot of complete games. Even though the Yankees beat him around his last time here, he's been a Yankee killer over his career. You wonder if they'll shut him down before the Yankees get there.
Randy Velarde's first home run since the 31st of July. That was his return from the long visit to the disabled list with the cracked pelvis. So it's been a long drought. 1-2 to Boggs. Just missing 2-2.
And Randy's role in today's game, and you know, I think he was inserted in there primarily for defensive reasons because of Jim Abbott, a ground ball pitcher, getting a little bit more range at shortstop. Gallego having to move to second because of Pat, and he tacks on a run for Jim Abbott. So Alex is at the game today?
No.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Why don't you ever bring him out anymore?
No, I brought him out Friday.
Oh, I missed him.
Family visit to the ballpark.
Was it as expensive to bring Alex as people say it is to come to the stadium or the ball game?
I racked up a pretty good tab. A few trips to the souvenir stand.
But you didn't pay for tickets.
Yeah, well, those tickets that I had were paid for. Yes, they were.
And the chauffeured limousine down?
By me.
Wow. What a class act.
Foul back. Yogurt in a helmet. About 5 hot dogs.
Alex said, what did you have? Familiar count for this guy, huh? Wade Boggs, 3-2 again.
Wade Boggs sends this one out to Candy Maldonado, and on the track. Oh, a rare display of power from Wade Boggs. He's 143 hits on the season, and 25 of them only have gone for extra bases. But of course, that one in the 10th inning to beat Detroit here, a home run, is most memorable.
3 balls, 2 strike changeup, a little bit upstairs. Something that you can't look for, but because Milwaukee really cannot throw the ball by you, Wade turns the top end over, hit it hard, but didn't get up off the ground enough. Wade has certainly set the tone of that leadoff spot since the All-Star break.
Now Deion James. He hit the ball hard back in the first inning, second man to face Milwaukee at that point, and Kenny Lofton grabbed it for the out. He singled in the third, and then the 2 errors that turned into a round trip around the bases. Not an inside the park home run, but that was the look that it had when all 3 Yankee runs scored on the play.
Well, Milwaukee hurt himself a couple of ways in that inning. First of all, he walked the leadoff hitter, Gallego. He had a ground ball hit back at him, went right through his legs. It was hit sharply, and then the defense started throwing the ball all over the place. The Yankees took advantage of it.
Deion laces this one out to left center field. Lofton's speed cuts it off. Deion's made the turn. Lofton's throw is not in time as it bounces away. Well, few can get to a ball hit in that spot better than Kenny Lofton. But the balls are bouncing everywhere for the Indians today.
The grass a little bit wet. Lofton goes. Frank Howard exhorting Deion to go right from the start. Frank has a great expression. Earlier in the season, a few weeks ago, he said to Wade Boggs, make him throw you out. And the guy threw Wade out, and Wade went by him and said, Frank, he did. So that's just what he's saying to Deion. You got a 4-run, make him throw you out. This time he didn't.
Well, after going 6 for 30 on the Yankees road trip, Don Mattingly is now 2 for 15 on this homestand. That is 8 for his last 45 The average now at 295. Runner in scoring position, that's Deion James, and this was bread and butter time for Mattingly for that long hot stretch he had.
I love the way he swung the bat his last time up. He was very aggressive. He wasn't feeling for the ball at all. Even though he struck out of the pitch out of the strike zone, he was aggressive. Here comes Don Cheedy, the interim pitching coach. The right-hander throwing for the Indians in the bullpen. They've got only one left-hander down there. That's Lilliquist, as you said earlier. He's out of the starting rotation, but he pitched yesterday.
Cheedy, of course, the interim pitching coach because Rick Adair was fired while the Yankees were in Cleveland with 35 games to go. And there's Bill Wirtz.
Indians don't have a whole lot of call-ups yet because they've got so many teams in playoffs in the minor leagues. I think Texas got like 37 or 38 guys already.
Do they really?
Yeah, they call up a bunch.
Well, we'll see on Monday. 3 balls and no strikes to Mattingly. Career against Bob Milacki, a little over 300. Three and one.
He's gone 3 and 2 change about 3 times in this ball game. Let's see if he goes to Mattingly. First base open. Even though Danny's up next, if he goes change up 3 and 1.
Milacki walks Don Mattingly. With 1 out, the Yankees have 2 runners on. That is the second walk issued by Milacki. The Yankees have 5 hits to go with those 2 walks. 4-0 Yankees.
You hear people say like Bobby Ojeda, who's got such a great change and an off-speed curveball. You hear people say, well, gee, why don't they try to go right field on this guy? Well, they were. When you make the perfect pitches. And then Ojeda was expanding the Yankee strike zone. Same with Milacki. He said, why don't you go the other way? Well, hitters are trying to. You got to give that guy credit. When he makes the good pitch with a great motion and then keeps you honest with the fastballs in, it's not as easy as it looks.
A lot of punch missing lately in the 3 and 4 spots in the order, with Mattingly slumping. Tartable 2 for his last 16. Fouled off. 1-1.
We were talking about that the first few innings. The White Sox pitching staff had a little bit to do with that.
A lot.
You were more correct than I was when I said a little. You said a lot. A lot had a lot to do with it.
I feel so good now, Tony. Four nothing Yankees in the bottom of the 5th. 1 out. Deion James started it off with a double with 1 out. Mattingly walked. They're out there for Danny Tartable.
And like Velarde, a good hitter's pitched. He gave Velarde a fastball that he pumped out here to right center.
Tartable moves back, and it's 3-1 with Paul O'Neill on deck.
You sense something big coming up here on this pitch? You do?
I do. Wrap to third. Thome makes the grab. They've got 1 and cannot make the turn. Well, it was well hit. But Jim Thome, the third baseman of the future, enjoying the present, turned it into the force at second.
He's a very athletic young man. He was injured last year, sent back to the minor leagues. They've been taking him out late in the ballgame for defense and putting Espinosa there. This is a super play, robbing Danny Tartable with not only a base hit, but at least 1 run batted in. Danny couldn't hit it harder. Just hit it on the ground.
Now Paul O'Neill, 2 ground outs, 0 for 2. But Tony, you were right. I mean, it really did have a Danny Tartable smell to the moment. I mean, it really seemed as though that was the kind of pitch, the situation.
Can't steer the ball. And Tony made a great play.
And Paul O'Neill swinging at the first pitch again. Missing it. 0-1. 0-2. The inning started with Randy Velarde's home run. Yankees trying to add it. Runners at the corners. Junior Ortiz is. Who's he sending those signals out to, Tony?
Well, nothing in 2 outs. There are times where they might send a runner to get Paul O'Neill a fresh count. I don't think they're going to do it. They're tired of it. We'll see. Want to make sure whether they're throwing through, to whom they're going to throw it back to. The middle infielder is so far away from second base, chances are they're not even going to throw through.
And Paul O'Neill stays alive.
That's a good way to judge in a first and third situation in the big league level. Maybe some others too, college, minor leagues. You watch the middle infielders, Fermin and Barger. If they're both way away from the bag, they're giving you second base. Nobody's going to cover. Look at how far they are from the bag.
Nobody was running on the pitch. Still 0-2 to O'Neill. Just got a piece of it.
The problem with starting Danny is if he does steal it, you put the first baseman Milligan back. There's no hole to shoot through, and also it's a base to play with in case they wanted to try and pitch around Paul O'Neill. Unlikely with Bernie Williams up next because he's swinging the bat well, but gives Milwaukee some leeway. So they're holding him to this point.
O'Neill goes with the pitch the other way, and it's well into the seats. Buck Showalter and the Yankees announcing that tomorrow it'll be Sterling Hitchcock.
Who pitched a good ball game at Cleveland against this ball club.
And he'll go up against another young pitcher in Jeff Mutis.
Be the third time this season Mutis has started against the Yankees. He's done pretty well.
And he looked darn good in that series last week. Got the win. Paul O'Neill wrapped this one, lofted on the move. Got there in time, as he so often does. So the Yankees strand 2, but get one on Randy Velarde's home run. His 6th of the season. Dwayne Statz will rejoin Tony in a moment. I'll see you on the post-game report.
Back at Yankee Stadium. In the meantime, a reminder on the Nobody Beats the Wiz Jets Journal. Tonight at 11:15 p.m. catch Jets Journal for the latest team news and game highlights here on MSG Network, the best in the game. We are going to the 6th. Tomorrow's starting pitcher, Jose Mesa, keeping the book on the Yankees hitters. Jim Abbott going to the 6th, Dwayne, has walked 3, struck out 2. The Indians do not yet have a base hit. 4-0 Yankees.
He's been very stingy with his pitches as well. 69 through 5. So he's in good shape there.
Jim Thome leads it off for Mike Hargrove's team. He hit a line drive, a semi-line drive to center field, and Bernie Williams in the 3rd. He'll be followed by Junior Ortiz, then the leadoff hitter, Ken Lofton. 1 ball again from Jim Abbott. Thome extremely strong. You saw what kind of athlete he was when he robbed Tardebo of that base hit and an RBI diving to his left. He just seems to be more relaxed this time up. Cutter 1-1.
Well, winning an MVP award in the International League will help bolster your confidence a little bit. And after brief exposure at the major league level last year, he has more of a feeling that he belongs up here and can compete at the major league level.
Slider misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jim Abbott through 5 has thrown 9 ground ball outs when you include the 2 double plays, 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 5th. Indians are averaging over the last few weeks about 10 hits a ball game. Line drive, sinking and slicing. Velarde picks it right off the turf. So Thome has hit the ball well twice off Abbott. Not unusual for left-handed batters against him.
Here it is. That ball with a little slice, and it was diving at the same time. A sinking liner slicing to just to the right of Velarde.
Junior Ortiz as Abbott misses near the outside corner. 1-0.
That's 2 hot shots Velarde's had to take care of in the last 3 hitters.
Yeah, Ramirez hit a bolt in one hop, and Velarde turned it into a double play. Too low, 2-0, says Ted Hendry. It looks like, maybe I shouldn't say this, the bad weather's going to miss us. A little bit brighter here at the stadium. Cool down a little bit. Wind nice and brisk moving out to right field. 3-0 to Ortiz, the 9th place hitter. Yankees trying to cut the Blue Jays lead, until tonight at least, to 1.5 games in the East. Fourth base on balls given up by Jim Abbott. Lineup turns around, and leadoff hitter Kenny Lofton.
Well, twice today Abbott has walked the leadoff man, but the Yankee defense has turned a double play behind him to prevent him from being burned.
First and then again in the 5th.
Now a walk with 1 out.
Buck Showalter's got to like what he's seeing from Abbott. The change of speeds. He has been behind hitters, but against a tough Indians team, he's been able to pitch around some of his own troubles. Breaking ball, strike.
Well, you have to like the way Abbott's handled all this as well. No excuses. I know this is a big game, a tough challenge. You look forward to it.
Fouled off. Out of play into the upper deck. 0-2 to Lofton. Well, you know, he went through so much in his life, let alone last year.
Yep.
I mean, last year with the Angels, good ERA, not much run support. We saw some numbers earlier where we might have lost more ball games except good run support. But again, defensive support. Bad pitch, but fouled off by Lofton. Lofton hitting about 285 against left-handed pitchers. In fact, Mike Hargrove was talking about his terrific success against left-handers last year. He was over 300 considerably. He doesn't bail out. And when he does bail out, if he chops the ball on the ground, you don't throw him out. And misses just a little bit upstairs. 1-2. There's 1 out, 1 on for the Indians, with the Yankees leading it 4-0. Indians looking for their first base hit off Jim Abbott. Changeup. Oh, wow. That was close. He took something off a curveball. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Watch Lofton give on this.
Take another look. Curveball breaking, and Lofton gives in.
Ooh.
Very close.
Or Matt Noakes catches it. It's within the strike zone. Ted Hendry, the home plate umpire, figured it was high when it crossed the hitting zone. Deion James backed up a little bit on Lofton. There are 2 outs. If Lofton continues to pitch well today, you know, you'd have to take your chances with 3 good starters down the stretch. Jimmy Key pitches like he did, even though he had the ERA went up in August, had one really awful start. Great 7 innings the other day. And with Kamenicki, if he continues, and with Abbott, it's not bad. You got a few off days in there. You might go with 4 starters sometime along the way. Wade Boggs right there as Fermin hits it fairly hard. Jim Abbott goes to 6 against these Indians. He's got a 4-0 lead. The Indians still hitless. Remind you, the Red Sox are coming to the Bronx. 4-game series. Thursday and Friday night games, September 16th and 17th, 7:30 starts. Saturday and Sunday, the 18th and 19th, 1:30 starts. Tickets for this series are going fast, like hotcakes. So get yours now at the stadium. The Yankees clubhouse doors are at any Ticketmaster ticket center. Jim Abbott is riding a shutout through 6 innings. No runs, no hits, 2 errors committed by the Indians. Yankees 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Bob Milacki walked a guy, couple base hits, didn't get defensive support. He will face Bernie Williams, Matt Noakes, Mike Gallego. Bernie has walked, single, he has stolen a base. And Dwayne Burney, maybe it's not so gradual, but I think it is. He is, assuming the role of one of the steadiest players on this ball club all around. Shows bunts too high.
Tell you, people talk about maybe his lack of flash or his low-key personality, but he's so steady, and he's now playing, getting the results the way he approaches the game. A lot to be said for that consistency.
1 ball, no strikes. Off the end of the bat, Kenny Lofton adjusts. He's got it. When you look at Bernie's play, too, it's not just what he has done. It's what he's not done. He hasn't made many mistakes.
Yep.
On the bases, defensively as far as throwing, with a bat in his hands. You forget how young he is. So there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th for Matt Noakes, who was flied out, and he also struck out. Slider misses up and away.
Milwaukee, after Noakes jumped on that first pitch in the 2nd, started him with a changeup in the 4th and gives him another look here this time around.
2-0. What a ball game Bob Ojeda pitched on. Long road back in his comeback. Had a chance to talk with him today, and Chuck Nagy, who thinks he's going to pitch this year, going down to the weight room and do a little work. 2-0. Little scrib off the end. Albert Bell's not going to get it, so Matt Noakes is on with 1 out. He pulled the string on him, even though it was 2 balls, no strikes, and he squibbed it off the end of the bat to left center.
Well, he kept doing that in the 4th inning. He threw him off-speed pitch after off-speed pitch. The changeup struck him out in the 4th, and this time, Matt's just strong enough, and if that pitch is up a little bit, he can get it over the infield and drop it in, and that's what Matt Noakes did.
Mike Hargrove is going to go to his bullpen. He feels that Milwaukee has had enough. Down 4-0. He's had somewhat of a pitch build up, but he's going to protect him because, as you indicated earlier, Milwaukee has had some arm problems.
Yeah, he's up around 99 pitches now, and so he's given the Indians everything they could expect from him, I would think, after spending the minor leagues, the season in the minor leagues, and about 2/3 of his appearance out of the bullpen.
Bill Wirtz had been warming up earlier, so Mike Hargrove has gone to the bullpen, bringing on Bill Wirtz. 4-0 Yankees. We'll be right back. With 1 out, 1 on for the Yankees. The Yankees leading 4-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Bill Wirtz comes on. He was recalled on July 7th, where he's having a good year at their Charlotte franchise. Another good arm.
Yep, he does. The Yankees saw him a couple times in Cleveland in that 4-game series and had some success against this guy. Matter of fact, he was the losing pitcher in the first game of that series when Sterling Hitchcock gave the Yankees 7 shutout innings, and the Yankees posted a 4-0 victory. And then they got him later in the closing game of that series for 5 runs in 1 inning.
Mike Gallego steps in. He started off the 3-run 3rd with a walk for the Yankees. Randy Milligan, the first baseman, playing behind Matt Noakes at first. 1 ball from Wirtz to Gallego. Mike has turned in a couple of more, well, better than good defensive plays again today. Seems to go with the territory with Gallego out there, whether it's short or second, or even the times he's had a chance to play third base this season. 1-1 to Gallego. Didn't like the call from Ted Hendry.
He's been so dependable. Very few mistakes. Here's the breakdown on Wirtz's lost weekend against the Yankees in Cleveland.
Did you say lost weekend?
Yeah.
That's your Ray Milan. 1-2 to Gallego. Mike's other time at bat, we told you about his walk leading off the 3rd. He is grounded to third baseman Jim Thome. The intensity, and it may be epitomized by Mike Gallego's play, is turned up a couple of notches as the season dwindles down in September. Wirtz hangs a pretty good breaking ball. I don't think that was a fork ball. Might have been, as Gallego go well out of the strike zone.
Take a look.
It's the slider.
Yeah, big break into the dirt.
Randy Velarde with a little soft applause after his home run in the 5th. There are 2 down with Noakes at first. Little cut fastball upstairs, little movement to that pitch for a strike. Slider misses, 1-1. Once again in this ball game for Buck Showalter, his usage of the bench has paid off. Inserting Velarde. Chop foul past Clete Boyer. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Randy. Where would they have been in Buck Showalter's team without that bench when Bernie Williams and Mattingly went down?
Well, you stop and think about all the guys on this club who've had good years. Where would they be without the bench? Deion James, Jimmy Leyritz. Where would they be without Scott Kamenicki?
Yeah, Scott's been a big one. Wow. He's been a big one with Jim Abbott struggling off and on. Melito Perez. More off starts than bad ones. Cammy's going to pitch when? Hitchcock tomorrow. Is he opening in Texas?
Yes, I think he is.
Mike Stanley, the backup catcher. This is fouled off. Roger Pavlik, that crazy crossfire delivery will open up the series down in Arlington against the Yankees. He pitched a good ball game against the Yankees here in the stadium.
Well, he's won 9 games this year, the same as Kamenicki. Pavlik 9-6 and Kamenicki 9-4.
Kenny Rogers, who's pitching well, is not scheduled to start. In Nolan Ryan's place, it looks like it's going to be Brian Bohannon. That's a possibility. The left-hander, bring him out of the bullpen. A lot of movement with a lot of heat to Randy Velarde. Freezes him. So the Yankees strand their 5th base runner through 6. But Jim Abbott coming out. He's been holding them hitless. He's got a 4-0 lead.
It's the Konica Soap Star Fan Fest live at the Paramount Saturday, September 18th at 7 p.m. See your favorite soap stars perform together in a spectacular show. Tickets on sale now at the Garden Box Office and through Ticketmaster. Yankees hold a 4-0 lead at Yankee Stadium as this game moves into the 7th inning. Jim Abbott has struck out 2 and walked 4. He has made 84 pitches through 6 innings. The Indians have left 2 men on base. The Yankees have turned a couple double plays behind Abbott. And Carlos Baerga leads it off. Baerga's nothing out of 2. With a fly ball to left and a ground ball to second base. And he'll bat left-handed, as is his custom against Jim Abbott. Baerga. His average now is .318. And a big chop to the right side. Going to be played unassisted by Don Mattingly. So Abbott takes this thing 1 out into the 7th inning. Baerga retired on the first pitch. And now Albert Bell.
You can tell by that first ground out, fans read scoreboards too, huh?
They know.
Or keep score.
Absolutely. 1 out. Here's Albert Bell. He has struck out and grounded out. Bell. Great power in the middle of this Cleveland order. He fouls it out of play. Strike 1 on the GMC batting leaders board. 111 runs batted in, running second to Frank Thomas. and ahead of Cecil Fielder with 108. Fielder's done it 3 years in a row, but he has Thomas and Bell to contend with this year. There's a strike on the inside edge. 0-2. Abbott has had pretty good success through the years against not only Baerga but Bell as well. He's ahead of Bell. Here's the 2-strike pitch, down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The fellow on deck, Randy Milligan, has been on base twice, a couple of walks, and he sees mostly left-handed pitching, and almost all of his damage since coming to the Indians has been against left-handed pitching. The 1-2. Ground ball.
Tough.
Cut off by Boggs.
What
And
a
the
play.
throw to first. Got him. Wade Boggs to his left. He cut in front of Velarde and made quite a play for the second out here in the 7th inning. And the fans are on their feet for this play.
If that ball gets by Wade Boggs' webbing, no way that Randy's going to throw him out. He gets him on the fist a little bit. It looks like it's going to squirt through until Wade comes from nowhere. And that typical Wade Boggs accuracy with the throw. A great play by Wade.
So Boggs makes the play so far. Let's get Jimmy Abbott's reaction. Two outs. And here's Milligan. And a ground ball tapped to third. Fair. Boggs with the throw. 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. So Abbott still has allowed no hits through 7. We'll go into the bottom of the 7th inning with the Yankees leading Cleveland 4-0. Quick look at the Bud game recap. The Yankees 3 in the 3rd, a couple of unearned runs, and another one in the 5th on the home run by Velarde. As Wade Boggs takes the first pitch too low to open the bottom of the 7th, ball 1. Velarde's home run in the 5th, his 6th of the year on the Budweiser game recap. Now Boggs shoots this one out of play. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Wade singled and scored in the 3rd inning. Hit the ball to the warning track and right in the 5th. He is 1 out of 3 and hitting .310 for the year. 2 balls and a strike to count. Bottom of the 7th. Bill Wirtz pitching in relief of Bob Malacky. And a tap to the right side. This time Baerga with a pickup, and the flip to Milligan. Well, Boggs the first out here in the 7th. Boy, what a play he made in the top of the 7th inning on our MCS Cannon great teamwork play. Boggs on that ball hit by Bell has kept the no-hitter going.
This is one of 3 good plays the Yankees have made. Gallego made a terrific play on Fermin in the 4th, leading off that inning. Randy Velarde had a tough hop off the bat of Manny Ramirez, turning it into a double play in the 5th, and Wade's play has been the best of all thus far.
Deion James takes the pitch high, ball 1. Upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. James with a run batted in. That came in the 3rd when he circled the bases as a result of a couple throwing errors. He doubled in the 5th inning. Ran that one into a double, dropping it into left center field. Baerga reaching down to make the pickup in the throw. 2 outs in the 7th. So the bases will be empty. Baerga's taking care of both Boggs and James. 2 outs, and Don Mattingly prepares to hit against Wirtz. Don walked in the 5th. Average at .295. Wirtz throws him a strike.
Well, they've got some good arms. That pitch that he just threw to Boggs earlier to get him out in a 2-1 pitch, and they got the DePoto in there. He's got a good arm down in their bullpen. Look at this. This guy's throwing hard.
0-2. And with some movement in, he jammed Boggs, and this pitch up a little bit, kind of running in on Mattingly with something on it.
Matter of harnessing it, getting the ball in the strike zone.
An 0-2 count. Don fouls this one down the left side, holding the count at 2 strikes.
When you look at Bill Wirtz's minor league record, starting in '89 down through '92 at Canton, Akron, well, he didn't average in quite a strikeout per inning pitch, but very close. But again, the walk total is a little bit high.
This one is fouled out of play.
You look at these guys in the minor leagues, if you haven't seen them, you look at their innings pitched and their hits. He's always had a lot less hits than innings pitched. He's got the arm strength.
The 0-2, and a ground ball through the right side this time. Baerga had started to move just to his right, and Mattingly pulled the ball through the hole.
We talked about Baerga doing that when Malachi was. Anytime there's a changeup, he would wait till the last, and then for left-hander, he would slide a couple steps toward first. This time he sees fastball, he slides a couple steps to his right, and Mattingly top hands it, gets it through the right side.
So down with a 2-out single at first, and here's Danny Tartable.
Start your bat early, Danny, against this guy.
Takes one inside. Tartable 0 for 3, hitting .250 on the year with 28 home runs and 84 runs batted in. Two and nothing to count. Yankees have 4 runs on 7 hits.
Could be a fun swing if it's close when you see the number 1 with a 2-0 count.
And a liner past the diving Thome and into left. Mattingly stops at second. Bell goes back to second with his throw. First and second with 2 gone as Danny Tartable shot one to the left of Thome. That's going to get Paul O'Neill to the plate with 2 outs.
Tom Cheedy
out of the dugout for the Cleveland Indians. He is their interim pitching coach.
Danny Tartable in the 5th got the count 2 balls and a strike. He had a bullet that Thome robbed him. This time he gets the count 2-0, and he shoots one through the left side. Seeing a guy like Tartable, a slugger, a power hitter, when the count is favorable and he can sit in one thing or one area. Fastball, middle of the plate in. Let him turn on it. Frankie knew how to do that, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. And launch a few.
Oh. Some of the all-time long ones.
Jim Abbott, towel around his neck, the jacket on in the Yankee dugout. He has given the Indians nothing beyond 4 bases on balls through 7 innings. Here's Paul O'Neill. Paul's had trouble with off-speed stuff against the starter Malachi.
That's what he started him off with.
Wirtz starts him with the off-speed stuff here for a strike. With 2 outs, Mattingly and Tartable have put back-to-back singles together. And O'Neill finds himself in the hole, 2 strikes.
Paul's saying, I don't understand this. Everybody I've watched him throw to, he's throwing hard fastballs to Mattingly, Tartable. What he's doing to me, he throws me 2 hooks.
Now the 0-2. He stays away with the off-speed stuff.
Even though it's early in September, Paul's going to say, well, I'm still getting welcome to the American League, the Soft Tossers League.
Wirtz tried to start that one wide and break it over, but he missed. That squares the count at 2-2. Here's that pitch.
Don't know if he tried to backdoor it, but he came awfully close.
The 2-2. Now he's all the way out to O'Neill. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the Yankee runners will get an extra step or 2. They'll be off with the pitch. Mattingly second and Tartable at first. Here it is. There they go. The 3-2. Skied into left. Bell back, still going back, and he reaches up at the last moment to make the catch. That ball almost got over his head. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We're going into the 8th. 4-0 Yankees. Back at Yankee Stadium, we're heading into the 8th with the Yankees leading 4-0. Jim Abbott has struck out 2 and walked 4 today, giving up no hits. He had a similar situation earlier this year at the end of May against the White Sox, 7 1/3 no-hit innings when Bo Jackson lined that single into center field. The Yankees went on to win that game 8-2. Jim Abbott worked the front 8 innings in that ball game. This afternoon, he has gone through 7 without allowing Cleveland a base hit as Gerald Williams takes over in left for Deion James. And Manny Ramirez will open the 8th inning. Ramirez hit the ball sharply in the 5th inning, and Randy Velarde turned it into a double play. Ramirez has also hit a fly ball to center, and Abbott starts him with a strike. Ramirez, the designated hitter. He hit 2 home runs last night, his first 2 in the big leagues. The 1-strike pitch. Very quick, but off the plate just a little bit. 1-1.
How did Ramirez lay off this pitch? It's a real quick cutter. Ramirez starts after it and checks right at the end. Leading with the hips. Ted Williams would have loved that.
Now the 1-1.
Change.
And an off-speed pitch.
Boy, that
had Ramirez fooled, and he got just a little piece of it.
That is set up so much for Jim Abbott today, that off-speed breaking ball.
Boy, that a very effective pitch.
It'll make your velocity look better to the hitter.
Yes, it will. You'll be a lot quicker inside then.
To the radar gun it won't, but to the hitter it will, and that's what's important.
The 1-2. That squares the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. One of the fans here on this overcast day at the Bronx on every pitch now. They started to get a good sense of this in the 6th. He went through a perfect 7th, now opening the 8th. The 2-2 to Ramirez. He got it. He struck him out.
Oh, Noakes is down.
And Noakes got the backswing, but held on for the strikeout.
It's one thing Mike Stanley found out yesterday with the kid Manny Ramirez. When he hit his home runs, he would leave the bat go, and it would hit Stanley almost every time. This time he swings through it, doesn't let go of the bat, but that long follow through gets Matt and puts him right to the ground, right on the back of the left shoulder.
Noakes trying to walk that off. We'll take another look. 3rd strikeout for Abbott.
A slider, may have taken a little bit off it. No protection on that back left shoulder, was there?
Here's Candy Maldonado. Maldonado takes a strike. The fans are with Abbott pitch by pitch. So for the 2nd time this year, he's carried a no-hitter. 1 out into the 8th inning. And he jammed him, a roller to short for Velarde. He's 2 outs into the 8th inning. Maldonado jammed by that pitch. And Abbott gets him for the 3rd time today. 2 gone with the bases empty in the 8th inning. And the young 3rd baseman Jim Thome will be the hitter for Cleveland.
And even though Jim Abbott has pitched in front of huge crowds all over the world in his Olympic competition, he's got to be feeling this. The adrenaline's got to really be flowing.
Thome hit the ball hard in the 6th inning. He hit that sinking line drive that Velarde caught. There's a strike. He started to give a little bit on that pitch. So Abbott ahead of Thome. Thome had a great year at Charlotte. Came into this game hitting .300. Abbott leaves it wide, 1-1.
Well, the Yankees have been looking for another big game pitcher aside from Key. Kamenicki's given them 2 outstanding starts when they've been very important, and they may have just found another one in Jim Abbott.
Here it is.
From the side.
And he's ahead now. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
First time he's used that delivery in this ball game. Saved it for a left-hander to get the second strike.
Take a look.
Drops down. It's a perfect spot.
And this crowd, with each out, more and more into the moment. The 1-2. Wide. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This crowd umpiring with its heart.
And this is also a big outing for Matt Noakes, who hasn't had much playing time, whose catching has been maligned.
Ball 3. Thome did not offer on the appeal. So a full count. 2 outs. Ramirez struck out. Maldonado grounded out.
And it's one of those games where not only the fans and everybody else caught up in it, but the umpire can get caught up in. Some of those close pitches you better be swinging at.
3-2. Here it is. And he lost him. Abbott walks Thome. A 2-out pass.
You see a pinch hitter.
Junior Ortiz is due, but he has been recalled. And Sandy Alomar, who's been swinging a hot bat, will hit for Ortiz. Ortiz was 0 for 1 with a base on balls. So Alomar, who's now healthy after suffering through back problems, will come on to pinch hit. Yankees saw Alomar in the series last week in Cleveland.
Alomar is 1 for 11 lifetime against Jim Abbott. .091.
So he will pinch hit. The Indians with 5 walks. The Yankees have turned 2 double plays behind Abbott. So the Indians have yet to get a man as far as second base. And here's Alomar. He had back surgery in the middle of May. And Abbott just misses. Very close. Ball 1.
Jim has started quite a few hitters off in this ball game with a curveball. Off speed.
And a foul ball. That's going to be out of play. The count is 1-1. 4-0. Yankees leading. Abbott working on a no-hitter. 2 outs into the 8th. He has walked Thome, and Alomar is hitting for Junior Ortiz. Two balls and a strike. Ball, third base, scooped by Boggs. He got him. Alomar out third to first. No hits in the 8th. A walk and a man left. Abbott has a no-no through 8. Bottom of the inning coming. Yankees 4, Cleveland nothing. New York Yankee baseball is brought to you in part by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Nothing quenches that deep down body thirst better than Gatorade. We'll go into the bottom of the 8th with the Yankees leading 4-0. Yankees 4 runs, 8 hits, and the Indians have no runs, no hits. Jim Abbott has struck out 3 and walked 5. He's made 107 pitches through the front 8. And he'll see his Yankee teammates coming to hit in the bottom of the 8th inning, sending Bernie Williams to the plate to lead off against reliever Bill Wirtz as Alomar takes over behind the plate. And the first pitch in there for a strike. Bernie with a walk and a single, flying to center field his last time. He's over this one, over the top of it, and in the hole, 0-2.
And Dwayne, when you look at your scorecards and the outs that have been committed by the Cleveland team, there's not been a good play by an outfielder for the Yankees, which is an indication that Jim Abbott's had the ball down in the strike zone. He's really not out over the plate much.
Bernie lifts it into center field, and Lofton is there to make the catch. And we've seen him mix his pitches well today, using that curveball as an off-speed pitch.
Terrific change of speed for Jim Abbott today. Early on, he was behind quite a few hitters, walked, 4 or 5 in this ball game. And he seemed like he was getting stronger over the last couple of innings, getting ahead of guys.
Here's Matt Noakes. Noakes singled in the 6th inning. He was 1 of 3. And the pitch is in there for a strike. All 4 Yankee runs came against the starter Bob Malacky. Wirtz throws Noakes another strike. Tomey at third, well off the line. Same thing for Bell in left. Everybody shaded to the right side for Matt Noakes. One and two.
We've heard so much about Spike Owen losing playing time and not complaining. The same can be true of Matt Noakes.
Yep.
Not every day, checks the lineup. Stanley's been in there the bulk of the times.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
So back in spring training, now he's had the opportunity to catch Nolan.
Yep, he caught Nolan Ryan's no-hitter in Texas. Two balls, 2 strikes, and it's wide. So a full count on Matt. Nobody on with 1 out. Mike Gallegos on deck. The 3-2, and Noakes lifts a pop fly left field. Bell has to cut back to his right, but is there to make the catch for the 2nd out. 2 gone with the bases empty. Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. Here's Mike Gallego. He's made a couple nice plays defensively. Gallego 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And he takes a pitch too low, ball 1. In the 9th, Cleveland due to have the top of the order. Lofton, Fermin, and Baerga up there. Wow. Wirtz at times has just been overpowering. We saw him make a couple pitches in the 7th inning. One to Mattingly. One here to Gallego in the 8th. Wow. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Gallego lifts a fly ball right center field. That's Maldonado making the call to retire the side. So the Yankees go down 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. Call your neighbors, folks. We're headed into the 9th. 4-0 Yankees. Jim Abbott will take a no-hitter into the 9th inning this afternoon at Yankee Stadium before a crowd of better than 27,000. Yankees hold a 4-0 lead. And just to stress the overall importance of this game beyond the personal accomplishment of a no-hitter, Lee Smith is up in the Yankee bullpen just in case. Buck Showalter and Tony Clollinger are prepared. Meanwhile, Jim Abbott set to go to work. Kenny Lofton leads off the ninth for the Indians, and he bunts foul. The fans don't like that.
It's
Strike one.
It's part of Kenny's game, and he's got to do it. Boggs is cheating even closer to the bat than he was the first few times that Lofton came up.
Lofton has 16 bunt hits this year. Out of 157, he is 6th overall in the league in hits. Bunted and fouled the first pitch. Takes strike two. 0-2.
Abbott has not lost 1 inch of movement on that fastball. That ball really jumped.
He had a great one there for the second strike on Kenny Lofton. Here it is. He drops down a little bit.
Oh, my.
And missed, says Ted Hendry. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He did this to Tomey earlier in the ball game, and it slides outside by inches.
The 1-2. And a bouncer over the head of Abbott to Gallego. 1 out in the ninth. Gallego to Mattingly. He's 2 outs away.
Gallego makes this look easier than it really was. Look at where it goes. Abbott, I believe, thought that was going to be a base hit, but Mike, playing him up the middle hard, got rid of it in a hurry. As fast a guy as there is getting down the first base.
Here's Felix Fermin. Fermin 0 for 3, and Abbott starts him with a strike. This is the 4th no-hitter taken into the 9th inning this year. Chris Bosio finished his off. He got one for Seattle. This one drops a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And in these situations, Dwayne, the springs and the legs of those defenders behind Jim Abbott are wound as tight as they can be. They are really intent on getting the best jump possible.
The 1-1. Fermin with a bouncer foul.
The change.
And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Guzman went 2 outs into the ninth. Johnson, Randy Johnson of Seattle, went 1 out into the ninth. Too close. So the count stands at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fermin victimized by a great play in the 4th by Gallego. Lines this one fouled into the stands. Fermin grounded into a double play in the 1st. Then Gallego turned in that backhanded play on the ball he hit in the 4th inning. Grounded the 3rd and the 6th. And the count is 2-2. Abbott's pinch. Fly ball. Left center field. Long run. Bernie Williams. He's there. 2 outs in the ninth as Bernie Williams tracked it down into left center field. With this catch, the fans are on their feet. Two outs. Jim Abbott has a no-hitter. 2 outs into the ninth, and he'll have to face Carlos Baerga. Gene Michael pacing in the booth upstairs. Willie Randolph exhorting Jim Abbott on. Carlos Baerga 0 for 3 today. Baerga 5 out of 26 lifetime against Abbott. And the pitch is in for a strike. Indians have not had a man past first base. Baerga batting .318. And a ground ball to short. Velarde. He did it. He did it. No-hitter for Jim Abbott. Jim Abbott throws a no-hitter and shuts out the Cleveland Indians 4-0. Mobbed by his teammates. A big hug from Matt Noakes. Jim Abbott has just no-hit the Cleveland Indians. The crowd with Jim Abbott every pitch of the way the last 3 innings. Abbott had to get one of the better hitters in the American League, and Carlos Baerga to finish it, and he did just that on a ground ball to short. What an emotional moment for Jim Abbott. Mark Connor right there with him. And the fans in Jim Abbott's corner all the way today. A magnificent moment at Yankee Stadium for Jim Abbott, who has just thrown his first career no-hitter. The closest he had come before, 7 1/3 no-hit innings against the White Sox on May the 29th before Bo Jackson broke it up. Jim in his career had thrown a 4-hitter before. Today he goes in to the record books with a no-hitter. For the moment, the Yankees are a game and a half behind the Toronto Blue Jays. Jim Abbott no-hitting Cleveland.
It's one of the most wonderful moments, Dwayne, for as sweet a man as there is in any uniform in a major sport. He is a great person. Gene Michael
soaking in the moment.
You bet.
That's his acquisition. But what a special moment, you're right. Not a more deserving individual. Jim Abbott, who'd been plagued by inconsistency this year, knew that his team needed an outstanding performance, welcomed the challenge before the game, said he looked forward to that kind of challenge, and boy, did he meet it today.
First
no-hitting the Cleveland Indians.
First man on him, Wade Boggs, who made a truly great play earlier in this ball game. There were some good plays, 4 or 5, but the real great one was made by Wade Boggs.
Look at Gene Michael. On the ground ball by Carlos Baerga to Randy Velarde. Buck Showalter and Tony Clollinger. You know this is sweet for Tony Clollinger. Look at him. And Buck. A magic moment for the Yankees as they continue to pursue the Toronto Blue Jays. They get a masterful lift. Big performance from Jim Abbott as Abbott no-hits Cleveland. Don't go away. We'll be right back here. 4-0 Yankees win on the no-hitter by Abbott.